Meanwhile, everyone is looking at the primaries today and the election day that is 7 weeks away today. What if I told you a lot of Democrats are looking to the next big election after that, some 112 weeks from today? By then, the feeling is the economic recovery will look better, and the numbers, like today's surprisingly strong surge in retail sales, more familiar. Presidential historian Jane Hampton Cook says it's happened before to a guy named Ronald Reagan. So, Jane, I was thinking of what you said there, and that is true. At this point in his presidency, he was looking like a one-termer. The numbers we know in retrospect were beginning to turn his way. You think history strikes twice here?
Well, absolutely. I think there's a fascinating parallel. There's a lot of similarities between today and the midterms of 1982. You have unemployment today is 9.6. It was 10% in 1982. You had a president that was looking at the opposing party picking up seats in the midterms. And so there's a lot of parallels, and the economy was the main issue. And I think in Reagan's case, he wasn't as passionate about the midterms. And I think you see the same thing out of Obama. And I think they were both really looking forward to the future and to the next presidential election to be able to boast about the economy.
Well, you know, they wouldn't be alone in doing that. Bill Clinton knew that there would probably be some sacrificial lambs, turned out far more than he thought when he was pushing his legislative agenda through. And of course, it led to Newt Gingrich and but 2 years later, his own comeback and his own party's comeback. So are they betting on that or what?
Well, I mean, I think that you really do have to, in politics, look at the short term, but also look at the long-term implications of where things are headed and where the trends are. And, you know, President Reagan, he had based his whole presidency on his economic stimulus plan and philosophy, which was cutting tax rates across the board. And he knew that those tax rates were rolling in over the next 2 years. And so by the time of the next presidential election, they would be in full force and would be fueling the economy from the bottom up, from the people to the market and onward. And so I think that presidents have to look long term. And I think there's a key difference between then and today. I mean, President Obama's stimulus plan is based on federal spending, 2/3 of which has largely been spent. And so now he's got infrastructure projects to look at for fueling the economy. So I think there's a big difference in economic philosophy, but by and large, they both were looking long term. Here's the midterms, but hey, let's look to the next presidential.
Get over the hump, as they say. Jane Hampton Cook, thank you, Jane. Good having you again.
Thanks for having me.